That's true.
All right, our compensation plan is based around moving product. And we don't care if you move it to a customer or to a business builder. You have the same benefits, same pay.
That's
So
true.
I would challenge that.
Oh, no worries. And this is the thing with it. When those numbers are cranked out industry-wide, those aren't companies that are free sign-up and free to make money. So just know she's right. That's not an HBN thing, but that's the how many people in here have network marketing experience? Most. So most of y'all come from an environment, but we don't want to really acknowledge that, but at the same time, again, you're talking about business builders, and you're talking about companies that are not free. Average kit that we looked at when we look at those numbers year after year after year, $249 to $1,320. $249 up to $1,320 plus tax and shipping. You don't have that problem here, don't worry about it. For a lot of good reasons. But here's the point. At HBN, how many legs of business technically do you have to build with customers and distributors, because it's a binary, how many legs of business do you have to build? Yeah, they can be two. Yeah, they can build customers. Somebody said one, and I almost have a really good spillover power behind it. I mean, it's a good company, man. But here's the point. So if I'm looking for people to do, I was looking a couple of years ago, you had to sponsor 12 across the front line. Okay. Man. Now here's the thing. Kimberly, guess what? She can do it. Marcus can do it. Melissa Brower can do it. Right? Paula can do it. But can the broke cop living check to check after his divorce in a one-bedroom apartment in Denham Springs, Louisiana, can he do it? Answer is no. My first company was a binary. I got lucky. So let's talk about it. Let's make this work for you, because I want this to be logical for you. So the first thing with the star bonus. Step one. We're talking about not the free stuff unless you're going to sponsor 100 CV retail worth of moving products. So you can either do it yourself or get someone else to do it. Okay? Both of those work. We gave you scripts and questions where you can talk to people who want to make money. We also gave you some great questions for people who are interested in product. You can use like an 80-20 split customer business builder, okay? Because 100% of people need these products. Probably about 70% need the financial opportunity. But if you lead with the product, you should probably have a 100% success rate, because it's free if you do it right. Now here's the point. If you are totally okay with enrolling with a free tour, is that how we all start? So that is number one thing you want to do to build a star bonus. Enroll with the free tour. And we're going to play a little game to make this go quick. The game is called If I Wanted To, Could I? That's the name of the game. So ask yourself, if I wanted to, could I enroll with the free wholesale customer account? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Thank you. Okay? Second question. If I wanted to learn some basic skills, for example, Facebook Live, for example, Pinterest, for example, making a YouTube video. How many people ever sponsor somebody from a YouTube video you made and just left it out there in perpetuity? Just me and Chuck. Okay, a couple people. Okay, cool. A couple pros. All right. I see pro. That's a good beard gang in here. I see you, bro. I see you. You got such stuff? No, so. Okay, so we've already answered that. If I wanted to enroll in a free account, I could. And if I wanted to learn a couple of basic skills, like navigating my back office, that's not difficult if you purchase products and set up your smart ship, right? Yeah, so if I wanted to learn just some basics, building a following of 90,000 people, we don't have to do that to be successful, correct, Kim?
That's correct.
We don't have to.
Nope.
Okay? If you learn some basics, ask a couple of questions, identify a need like we were talking about all day. Quick story about Prosper. That was the first purchase I ever made. I didn't remember till you said it. I got Prosper. The second it came in, I put a drop on the inside of this red wallet. Yes, this is Gucci. And I put it on there. And the rest, for me personally at least, is history. But I had forgot that I had done that. My second product was I got a sample of Rise Coffee. The next day, I got a matrix payment for $2. I called Chuck. I said, hey, man, I got paid. This is real. And then I bought a kit that day. So it was like a couple of day period where I forgot about that. So everybody got a Prosper store. That's not an income claim, by the way. If you don't make your $2, I don't want you mad at me. Right? Now, if you take that $2 to the casino, you might be all right. I think a Cecil sample is less than $2.
$1.95.
All right, so that's That's where we're at. So if I wanted to do a free tour, I could. If I wanted to learn a couple of basic skills, you could, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, if I really wanted to, could I purchase 100 CV worth of product or retail it using the skills I just learned?
Yep.
Could I?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because if you can't, I want to know why, so we can get one of these professionals to tell you how to fix it before we leave tonight. So the answer to that question is yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay, so if I got my free tour, if I got my couple of basic skills, doesn't take long to learn that stuff. Y'all learn more than enough today to go build a successful customer base and a business base. Number 3, I could use those skills to sponsor or get to wholesale customers who feel the same way about business as you do. Okay? Could you find 2 individuals out of all the people you know who either want to purchase that amount of product and possibly one day, Lord willing, if they want to make some extra money, yes. Could you find those people using the skills you learned? Yes or no, if you wanted to.
Yes.
Okay, last but not least, most important step, and you do actually have to have a heart for people for this next step. You have to actually care. If you don't care, you're not going to work with people. Are you willing to spend the time? And you choose the time. It's a part-time gig. Part-time gig eventually pays full-time money for some of you. Would you spend the time with that person to help them do what you just did? Is David going to spend the time with Delana to help her set up her free account? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She said, okay, there it is. Okay, let's keep it going. Is David going to spend the time to help Delana learn a couple of basic skills? The advanced stuff will come, but just the basics. How to talk to people and don't run them off. Yeah? Last but certainly not least, because he has a vested financial and emotional interest in Delana's happiness, is he going to spend the time to help her, I say sponsor, that's the word we're going to use today. Is he going to help her identify 2 people with the need, financial, product, or both, that feel the same way about making extra money and increasing their health as her do, and that part may take a little while. That's where the rubber hits the road in this industry. When you start hearing no, and you get frustrated, you quit on yourself, but when you quit on yourself, other people are losing. If Chuck Holmes wasn't persistent, he wouldn't have sponsored Paul Holmberg. I would have missed out on one of my best friends. I mean, he liked Alabama Roll Tide football, and I'm an LSU Tiger fan, but I don't hold that against him. He's not a total bum. Right? But when people, you hear the stories about people who lose weight, people who get healthy, people who rejuvenate their relationships, when you don't talk to people about these products, they lose. You got people getting sick with flus and viruses and things because they don't know what we have. You're not doing something to people, you're doing something for people. So if you can do those things, create a free account, learn a couple of basic skills, get your auto ship set up, get your smart ship set up, 100 CV, and help 2 people do that. All you gotta do after that is teach them the same thing. It's 4 things. Did anything I just named you can't do? Be honest with yourself. Anyone, is $100, give or take, gonna break any of you? I know a guy who went to a pawn shop and sold a gun. His father had given him an antique gun. Sold the gun to get money, put in a prepaid debit card, and start a business in network marketing. Ended up doing pretty well. Okay? He said, Will, I was so depressed, I was in such a tough place. If I wouldn't have found a way to start that business, that same gun I was going to use to kill myself. True story. A couple of them were here for that in the back. Wave if you remember that story in real life. That's the name of the game. When you don't tell people about these products and this opportunity, you're hurting them. If someone would have presented this industry to me in the right way at some point and stayed consistent, if he would have quit, I wouldn't be here because I would have got shot twice in the chest doing a search warrant execution. When you quit on this business, you're not quitting on yourself. You're quitting on the dozens and hundreds and thousands of people who will be impacted from your decision. Okay? So this sheet is going to get you to where you want to go, but Will, why is it $300 to $500? Because when people, for some reason, statistically, hopefully, Madam President doesn't challenge me on this one, but statistically speaking, in this industry, $500 a month over a 6-month period for a grand total of $2,500 is going to be the number where people's retention grows from 90 days to 5 years. It is a huge jump. It's enormous. It's bigger than the retention that goes from 10,000 to 20,000. You don't have to think about the pie in the sky and the big numbers all the time. That should actually be a pretty small part of your vision. Your vision should be, and again, my views on this have evolved over the years. How many people can I help make $500 a month? 300 will keep most families out of bankruptcy. Is that crazy how low that number is?
Yep.
$300 a month. Do you know how much you get if you fill up one star grid? Who did the math? I'm gonna tell you it's $3.99. But who did the math? You fill up one star grid, and that doesn't include one retail order or one gift card purchase. Not one. $399 for doing the things I just asked you if you could do. We'll have this one more time. Listen, we're going to oversimplify this and we're done. Because it is this simple.
It is simple.
Y'all have this sheet with you right now?
Yep.
Next sheet. I don't care if you got to write it down on the back or on the side. Number one, can I, if I wanted to, take a free tour? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, come on, give me a real yes. I'm in Florida. Thank you. All right. The weather's beautiful. Second, if I wanted to, and it would not break my bank, could I get my 100 CV smart chip set up? If I wanted to, can you do that? Thank you. Because if you do that, you're going to have to do a lot less selling and a lot more giving away. Just give people the gift of health and let them buy more than 25 if they want, which 40% of people will do, statistically speaking. Number three, could you learn some basic skills if you wanted to? Emphasis on the word basic. Yes or no? Yes. Last but not least, well, second to last, could you help two people out of all the thousands and thousands of people in your phone and on Facebook and social media and Pinterest and Twitter and Instagram and church and the barbershop and your job and your family reunion and your uncle's funeral? Yes, I sponsored somebody at my uncle's funeral. I mean, I'm not the only, I know I'm not the only one. I think Broward did it. Okay, Patrick did. Yep. I mean, we actually want to help people. I mean, get over it. It was expensive. Let's talk in a week or two. Okay? With those two people there, which are right here on your left and your right, do you have a heart enough for people to work with them and help them do exactly what you've already done? This is the way the human brain learns. Paul Holmberg's son learned how to tie shoes from who? Paul Holmberg. That was easy. True or true? You've already done it. So at the end of the day, this comes down to belief, and you gotta really have a belief that you can actually do these simple, easy, basic steps. If you get caught up in the matrix, you start getting caught up in the rank advancement, you start getting caught up in the rewards program, if you start getting all off into that, trust me, it's there. Chuck, it pay mighty good, don't it?
What's that?
I said it pays good, don't it, the company?
Very.
Listen, if you just focused on star and nothing else, listen, if that's all you did, everything else would take care of itself. Madam President, true or true?
That feeds everything.
It feeds everything.
Then you're at the 100 CV,
Yeah.
you're binary qualified, you're an executive, right? So then you just promoted your enroller,
That's it.
right?
You promoted your enroller to bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're binary qualified, you're matrix qualified.
Check match, 10%. Bronze. Yeah, no, listen. You just do that 4th step and don't deviate, you're going to turn this entire compensation plan. But 2 caveats, and we're done. 2 caveats. Number 1, you're in all likelihood going to probably have to talk to more people to get the right to do 100 CV. Why? Not because you're not good at the basic stuff, you learned everything you need. It's because you have to really have such a heart for people that you have to want them to do the order that is appropriate for them. We brought it full circle. What is the order appropriate for this young man? What is the order that's appropriate for Denise? Do I determine that, or does Denise's why determine that?
Denise.
Denise's why, and her why is determined based on her situation and her
Purpose.
You have a real, authentic, intimate conversation with a human being. You will help them identify their actual appropriate order for them and whether or not the optional smartship is for them. You do it like that, it's so hard. You're going to win. Big. So you got 5 beliefs that you gotta have to make that work every time. And at the core of it is your intention to do something for people, not to people. And that intention will transcend the internet. It will transcend cross countries. How many people ever sponsor somebody they never met in person? Yes. Your intention goes through phone lines and walls and everything. I'm a face-to-face guy. But the point is, it really doesn't matter. Just do what you do. It's on what you're comfortable doing, please. Please. And do what your plug it up line tells you to do because it works for them. 5 beliefs you got to have, and this company's giving you all of them. You got to have belief in the business model of network marketing. You don't have to love every company, but you got to believe that this business model is ethically sound because she wouldn't be involved in it if it wasn't. And whose responsibility is it to build your belief in this business model? Is it my responsibility?
Nope.
Is it Paula's or Van's?
No.
You sure it's not Miss Ortega's? Whose responsibility is to build your belief in this business model? You're welcome. Belief number 2, you got to have belief in this company. Okay? Now, whose responsibility is it for you to build your belief in the company, to study the company, to look under the hood every now and again? To call and talk to Kathy, talk to Nanny, say, hey girl, I'll just call and check. I didn't even need nothing. I do that, by the way. Kathy hate me. Will, can I let you go? Because there's another call. Okay. I just want to see if it was real. Okay? Whose responsibility is it to build your belief in this company? Yours. They're doing their job. The product ship on time? Y'all money come on time?
Yep.
What else you want them to do? What else you want them to do? Okay? 3rd, you got to have belief in the products. Whose responsibility is that? Is Miss Ortega going to come to your house and put the product in your mouth? No.
That'd be cool.
No. She's going to take a little drone and pilot the drone to come drop the product off in your chimney and come out and put it in your kids, put the oil in the kids? Is she going to come into your bedroom with that sessor? So that's your job. Started. You do, believe it or not, you gotta have a belief in the compensation plan. Now, how many people actually think that Kimberly is just a despicable woman who will lie to you about income?
Yeah, I
She's
know.
one of the most humble people I've ever met, her and Marcus Bow. So I come with this whole leadership corner right here. Very humble people. How many people here truly believe that this compensation plan is fair? Pays out on time, just like they said. If you sponsor 2 people, you've made your money back already, monthly. And that star comes every month. Some companies might do like a little promotion, but I don't know, we can count on that here, so the comp plan is good. Take my word for that. Last but not least, and whose responsibility is it for you to have that belief in the comp plan?
Mine.
Yeah, that's yours again. Now everybody should know this one already because it's a very personally developed group. What's the last belief you gotta have to be successful here? Say that one more time. The people in the cheap seats didn't hear you. One more time, please. Okay, magic question. Whose responsibility is it for you to read the books, come to the events, watch the Facebook Lives, reach out on Facebook, friend your upline sponsors and crossline to hang out with people? Who is your responsibility? Whose responsibility is it for you to build your belief in yourself?
Mine.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody should have a smart grid filled up. Because we just decided logically we can do all 4 steps very, very simply and easily. And whose responsibility is it to do them? And when we don't promote these products and this opportunity to people, do some people inevitably lose when you don't share?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.